all about execution. It's all about the initial idea.
Half of my life was just, do I have the guts to place this order?
Ended up launching. In 42 days, we raised $600,000.
Entrepreneurs are a billionfold over anybody else solving the problem because a great problem is a great business opportunity.
You're listening to the Freedom Fastlane podcast, presented by Capitalism.com. This is the show about building businesses and investing the profits so that you can get in the fast lane and live life on your terms. In this special episode, we're sharing Ryan Daniel Moran's presentation from the e-commerce All-Stars event, hosted by Ezra Firestone in Austin. The foundation of digital marketing is changing, and at this event, Ezra gets together some of the world's leading e-commerce experts to come together and share their knowledge. Hey, don't forget to head over to YouTube to subscribe to our channel and go check out Capitalism.com to stay informed and get the most up-to-date Ryan rants, tutorials, webinars, and presentations. Let's go!
And by the way, how awesome was Molly the Mogul Pittman? That was crazy. I basically wrote a book like this, like, dude, who are you texting? I'm like, I'm coming up with headlines. I can't stop coming up with headlines. I'm so thankful to be here, and I want to thank all of you for welcoming me here. I was having breakfast with Justin Dyson, who's in the back somewhere. Where are you, Justin? Woo, Justin Dyson, everybody! We were talking about how great Austin is. I was bragging a little bit about how proud I am of the city where I live. And we were talking about the one kind of both entertaining thing and annoying thing about Austin is the fact that there's a different protest about every weekend. So I have a 2-year-old daughter, her name is Esther, and I usually take her for a walk most Saturday mornings. And invariably, we end up walking into a different protest where people are upset about something. And the way that they advocate for change is that they're walking and holding signs like somebody is going to be like, oh, well, if your sign says that. Now, my mind has changed. Just like a Facebook comment. Well, when you put it into a punchy sign, now I'm convinced. And it just made me think, can you imagine if entrepreneurs protested something? There was a rally today in Austin, Texas. A bunch of angry entrepreneurs are upset about the prices at Whole Foods. Can you imagine a conversation? You're really upset about the price of these organic blueberries. No, we would be sitting there going, I think we could make a cheaper grocery store. What do you guys think? We would be setting up Facebook ads advocating for some sort of new online grocer that doesn't exist yet, get on the pre-sale launch. This is why I love entrepreneurship. This is why I love this stuff. This is why I consider it a privilege to be in front of you, because I believe that it is entrepreneurs, I believe that it is people who care about freedom, who care about making money, enough to do something about it, that is actually what creates the change that moves the world and that we need in this world. It's people like you who actually make things happen. And sometimes I think we forget that that is such a powerful gift. I think we take for granted the power that we have to be in front of millions of people by setting up a Facebook ad. Has anybody ever seen one of their ads get shared? How does that feel when something that's making you money, someone else shares? Warm and fuzzy inside. I hear cha-ching. That should get you excited at the power that you all have to be in front of millions of people. We can officially say that people like us determine elections. We can officially say that by rallying enough people behind one message and by using advertising strategically. Do not ignore or forget the power that's in front of you if you employ half of the things that we have talked about here, half of the strategies that have been given to you. So when I'm in a room like this, I often feel like I'm the dumbest person in the room, because I got into this game because I wanted a better life and I wanted to make money. And the way I grew up, my background says that if I want to change something, I have to actually do something about it. Walking around holding signs, petitioning 535 people who don't know me sitting in Washington, D.C. probably isn't going to change much. It would probably have to be my responsibility to create something different So I became an entrepreneur. Can anyone relate to a similar story? I'm going to change something, so I'm going to take responsibility for this. So my strategy has always been finding out the shortest path to the end goal that I have and going straight to that. So I have primarily built my businesses around channels, finding out where the buyers already are and simply going in front of those buyers. This was a model that was kind of ingrained into me back in old school internet marketing days. In the old school, holy cow, this is a wide open West internet, before Facebook, before WordPress, before Amazon world, the way that you got any product or service into the collective awareness was you rounded up all your buddies, you all hit send on the same day, and it was called a launch. You see this model still used, but I'm often surprised that very few online brands and internet marketers use some of the things that were so effective back then. Because there's something very powerful, and I got to see the power of what it looked like to have multiple people collectively focused on driving awareness to something and watching what happened. I'll use the example again. There was kind of a launch back in October when the election happened. There was a whole lot of collective awareness all over the place, and what happened? Every news outlet couldn't stop talking about one person. Every time you turned on the news, there was one person being talked about. Who hated him, who loved him, who thought this about him, what he had for breakfast, when he took a poop, does he work out, does he not work out? These were all things that were constantly on the news, and what happened was that person won. That was a launch. Those strategies can still be used in our businesses, and when they are partnered with a channel where all the buyers already are, something magical really happens. So I have used that strategy. I have combined those two things to do most of my sales on Amazon.com for no other reason than when I look at where the opportunity right in front of me is. If I'm selling a physical product, which I'm in the business of doing, all of the buyers are already collected in one place, and that is Amazon.com. So sometimes I get referred to as like an Amazon expert. I don't consider myself that at all. I still to this day don't know how to print a damn shipping label on Amazon.com. People often come to me and ask, like, hey, in my Seller Central account, and dude, I have no idea. I don't have any idea. What I know is getting in front of pools of buyers, getting my products and services in front of them, then creating my own channel, which is called Raving Fans and Buyers, and following up with them over time, which creates really valuable businesses, which is often why they're sellable. So I'm going to condense a couple of things. We're going to talk a little bit about Amazon. I'm going to talk to you about how you can use the magic power that you all have that you take for granted and that we've talked about for the last few days here, and how to use that to accelerate your growth. And then I'm going to give you my magic email sequence. My magic email sequence is a way of essentially forcing a launch experience in a condensed period, even if you have a small audience, and it gets incredible results. I have used this magic email sequence to get more than 500 reviews in a weekend. I have used it to pre-launch over 1,000 units of a product on Amazon.com. I have used it to make over $100,000 over the course of 4 days for one of our products. I have used it to game the ranking systems and put my products at the top of Amazon. I've used it to rank our podcasts. It has basically been the way that we take all of this media that all of you know how to get in front of and turn it into whatever action I want people to take. I call it the Mississippi Man Bun 2.0. I am probably most known for giving a 12-month roadmap to building million-dollar businesses, specifically on Amazon.com. I've put this on YouTube. It has about 1.3 million views on YouTube. I won't spend a whole lot of time here, but for those of you who are unfamiliar with the strategy or have this tremendous amount of media in the form of buyers, email lists, retargeting pixels, I want to give this to you because if you turn this strategy and partner it with one of these audiences, this is where I get jazzed. This is where I know. I had a client a couple weeks ago. This has been about 7 weeks now. They were really good at the stuff you guys know. They're really good at the media stuff. They're really good. They had a list of about 100,000 people, but they didn't get Amazon. And I was like, dude, neither do I. And they're like, well, we really want to leverage our Amazon presence. Like, what backend? I don't know what the backend is. I have no idea. I know I'm good at like 2 things. And so what we did was we used part of the sequence I'm going to give you, along with getting in front of their audiences, and took their presence to $250,000 a month. And we got 800 reviews in a condensed amount of time. And that's not an atypical result, because all of you have this crazy amount of media. And if you were to apply a little bit towards a channel where there are all kinds of buyers, especially if they're already fans of yours, magic happens. So my 12 months to 1 million strategy very simply looks like this. At its core, one thing that I think e-commerce and internet entrepreneurs forget is that at the end of the day, we are not selling products, we are selling to people. And people are fairly predictable. And people have needs, wants, and desires, and they usually tell us what they are. So often we develop this new thing that we're proud of, or we sit here and we analyze what's going to work, what's going to sell, what's going to hack the system. Or what I am, for no other reason for the fact that I'm selfish and I want to make money, think that a better question is, who are the people that I'm serving and what are their needs, wants, and desires? Because if we can analyze the person, if we know who the group of people is that we are serving, it's really easy for us to come up with a list of products that are going to have a meaningful impact in their lives. And then we simply need to put it in a place where a lot of those people are already hanging out. This is the foundation of my philosophy of how I sell online. So when it comes to Amazon specifically, I'm looking at who is the market that I'm serving. And if you're already taking buyers, by the way, if you already have a customer list and you go, I sell an iPhone case and it's all kinds of people and I don't know how to find out who the person is, ask them. Find out what types of people are showing up, because invariably you will find that it is climbers or cyclists or runners or a very specific type of person makes up a disproportionate amount of your audience. So if we can get more of those people, it would be really easy for us to sell more product to those people. So my strategy is to identify the person that I'm targeting and then identify the 5 to 10 things that that person is already buying within their life cycle as a customer within this experience. So if it is a cyclist, I haven't ridden my bike in like 2 years. Don't shoot me. But they probably buy helmets, bike lights, maybe gloves. They might buy a running band because they're listening when they're on their bike. Probably buy reflective clothing. They might buy accessories and decals. These are all things that we're going to build out. Just write down what are the 5 to 10 things that that person is already buying. It might be a recovery drink, supplements. They might have compression clothing. We just listed 7 off the top of our heads, and I'm not a cyclist. So if you are one, or if you spend an hour researching, listing out those 10 is fairly easy. Then it's a process of choosing the first 3 that you're going to sell, put them on Amazon.com, go to that group of audience that you either already have or that you leverage Facebook advertising or however it is that you're getting in front of this group of people. We get a little bit of a lift by driving some outside traffic. We turn that into 25 to 100 reviews over each product, and we continue doing that until each product is doing 25 to 35 sales a day. 4 products at 25 to 35 sales a day is 100 to 120 sales a day, which at average price points of $25 to $30 is $1 million business. That is the starting point of my strategy for building millionaires, and hundreds of people have gone through that process and went, well, holy crap, I run $1 million business now. I have no idea how that happened. Well, the way that happened is we got a certain number of people into one group, and we partnered it with a channel where people are already hanging out. 43% of online transactions now happen on Amazon.com. That's absurd. You should see the trend of how Amazon is growing in countries like India, which, by the way, has more people than the United States. You should see the trends of buyers in Southeast Asia. 43% of online transactions now happen on Amazon.com. And I don't know if you heard, but Amazon made another acquisition lately. Did anyone hear about this? What company did they buy? Yeah, what do you think that this means? The acquisition of Whole Foods, which is a few blocks from here, by the way. Highly recommend that you go to the headquarters of Whole Foods here. You might run into my buddy John Mackey, big libertarian. So Whole Foods, I think, is probably the first play that Amazon is making into retail. What I think this means will happen is in the same way that Amazon completely eliminated all of the barriers to getting products in front of customers through things like Fulfilled by Amazon. We can leverage their merchanting. All the customers are there. We now don't have to worry about any of the boring stuff. We can now just market our products in a place where all the customers already hang out. It's just like sitting there, waiting for us to sell things to them. And what I think this will do is it will make the same experience possible over the next couple of years in the retail experience. So what I think you will see happen is when a product is proven on an online platform like Amazon, since they already have all of the distribution through warehouses all over the country, they'll just say, hey, this product is the #1 best-selling coffee online. Will you just send it to all of the nearby Whole Foods as a test? And now your product, your coffee, your supplement is now on shelves, and you walk in and go, whoa, I didn't do that, because it's already selling so well on Amazon. So we have this massive trend happening, and I hear entrepreneurs showing resistance or just plain ignorance with how they are managing their Amazon presence. People who are not on Amazon think that it's going to cannibalize their sales, even though all of their customers have their credit cards on file at Amazon. And when they see your ad, check on Amazon first. And the people who are Amazon business owners, which I think is the dumbest phrase ever because it means you don't have a real business. It's like saying, well, my Whole Foods business is just killing it. Well, what do you own Whole Foods? No. I sell things at Whole Foods. I don't understand. This is not a real business. The people who sell specifically to Amazon have no way of turning those people into repeat buyers. Peter Drucker had 2 functions of business. He said, does anyone know these? The 2 functions of business are getting customers and keeping customers. When you take a sale on Amazon, which of the 2 functions of business are you doing? Trick question, neither one. You're taking a sale. And if the customer does not know who you are, then they just bought this thing on Amazon rather than buying from you. That is the difference. So all these people who are just selling stuff on Amazon, if they're not choosing you, if they're not buying you, then they just had placed an order. And as a result, we have this gap where very few people are managing customers well or leveraging channels well, and where the 2 come together is where I think you have an impactful brand. And you all do the traffic, the conversion, the getting in front of people part so well, and if you marry a little bit of this to a platform like Amazon, all of these Amazon people can't touch you. It's like, by the way, they're terrified of you. They're terrified of people who can get in front. They all want to be you. They want to be in front of all of this media that you already control. So if you send, first of all, a little bit of outside traffic, Amazon rewards in the terms of exposure and keyword rankings. So Amazon will reward outside traffic. Here's a little hack for you. One of the things that they track is the different domains that are sending traffic that results in conversions. So if you were to game this or hack this, that would be sending it through a rotator through different domains that had like real legitimate articles about your product that link back to Amazon. So you would send to one rotator link and it would come through all these different places then and go to Amazon. Or if you just wanted to play it legitimately, then having different places that actually sent traffic to Amazon, whether it was your blog, your store, your website, your social media properties, and you were to send traffic from the outside to Amazon, it would actually help your Amazon ranking. The other thing that Amazon rewards is sales through keywords, which when we go through the Mississippi Man Bun 2.0, you'll see how to be able to send a tremendous amount of sales through a condensed period of time, which really bullies everybody out of the way when it comes to showing up for keywords. So that's part one. The other piece is that Amazon has all these internal ways that you can get in front of their customers. One of them is lightning deals, which are basically short windows of sales where there's a discount, and it has separate real estate reserved on Amazon.com, and people actually go over to those deals, browse them, find you. They have Amazon pay-per-click, and you can actually do a good amount of damage through Amazon pay-per-click if you're willing to spend the money for it. There's also, did you know that Amazon is trying aggressively to roll out live video? They want to follow the QVC model of being able to do live streaming inside of a shopping experience. Now, Amazon is incredibly segmented. Getting one group to talk to another group is like getting Democrats to talk to Republicans. It's very difficult, but they are attempting to innovate in all of these different areas, and what fascinates me is not trying to take advantage of all of these different opportunities, but by being a part of this wave that is naturally happening and keeping a pulse for what opportunities are starting to show life on Amazon.com, and using my audience, using Facebook presences, using Facebook groups, using email marketing, using ManyChat as another asset that I can combine with this channel so that I can have the two working together and talking to one another. So we have this massive trend. We have certain opportunities to be able to be in front of these buyers. And we have what I call the $1 million plan of releasing products to 25 to 35 sales per day. They tend to grow naturally. At that point, we get to 25 to 100 reviews, turn on a little bit of the Amazon marketing machine, and we can very quickly add, if you're not on Amazon but already taking sales elsewhere, we can very quickly add a 7-figure income stream to a business that is already doing well. What happens then is it starts to pick up steam, and if we play it right from here, we can build a very impactful business. So that moves us into the next part, which is we have all of these customers that are finding us on this channel, and most people who just sell on Amazon will say, sweet, I got a sale, now I got to go get another one. And I say, all of the money is to be made on the back end of that customer experience. If you can put in the work of seeing the first sale as your customer acquisition cost and put your profit into developing raving fans, into developing a back-end process that turns that person into a repeat customer and or a raving fan, there's millions and millions of dollars to be made, and that makes you a much more valuable acquisition in the events that you want to sell. Here's what that would look like. Someone gets a box in the mail. It's from Amazon.com. Oh good, my 2-day shipping arrived on time, just like I expect it to. They open it up, they see the thing, and then so many people do what I think is the dumbest thing in the world. They put an insert into the packaging that says, leave us a 5-star review. One of the things I have to kick people in my community for is going for this ask right away. They say, we're spending the money to put inserts in our packaging. Good idea. And we're asking for the review. What? And we're getting a bad conversion rate. Yeah, what would you expect? They just gave you money. You fulfilled your promise. They haven't even used the thing yet. Why would you be asking for the review right now? There's been zero goodwill. They don't even know who you are. Why are we doing an ask right away? So here's what we might do instead. We might make an irresistible offer in that experience, or we might talk about our mission and speak to the person that we know just bought that has a very specific belief or desire, and we might include our mission. I have a friend who in all of his packaging, he puts an insert that says, a portion of your purchase went to support Wounded Warriors Project. Here's a picture of someone who this charity supports. Hits them right in the feels. Now you have a much easier time making that person a raving fan. Another thing would be to make an irresistible offer that sent them over to a landing page. On that landing page, what might we put? An opt-in, what else? Actually, let's go there. Let's say we collected the email address. On the back end of the email address, what might we do? We might have an upsell. What else might we do? We ask for reviews down the road. Yes. And what else? Could we borrow one of the strategies that Roland shared yesterday about talking about a buyer's club? Could we do that? Could we set up a community where we put people into a Facebook group like what was just discussed and then engage our people and turn them into raving fans and encourage them to post a selfie of them holding the product so that their friends and fans and followers start to see that? And now we can grab product images and Facebook ads. Could we do that? Could we talk a little bit about our mission and what we stand for and what the brand believes in? Could we talk about our other products? This is the shift. This is the melding of the two. Because if we do that and we know how to control a little bit of media like all of you do, this starts to become very powerful. Because as we're collecting raving fans, as we're collecting email addresses, what happens the next time we post an ad and we say, if you want a 50% off coupon code, type yes in the comments? Do we get more shares? Do we get more people on our ManyChat following? Do we have more people that are now in our audience? And this snowball starts to build and build and build. One of the things that I think has made me successful is I am willing to punt my takeaway. I'm willing to punt my payday further than anyone else. I am willing to let it suck longer than anyone else. So the more that I am willing to roll into building up more of a following, a bigger and more engaging Facebook group, building up more of a list on ManyChat, I know that the day comes at one point where we get to cash the check. Whereas most people, what they'll do is they'll collect an order, say, thank you for your money. Do you know anyone else who wants to give money? By the way, also leave a review. This makes no sense. But if we turn that eyeball into an engaged eyeball, we have attention, and attention is currency. And if we can get those people talking about us through the direct response advertising that we're now partnering with the sales and customers that are coming from Amazon, we can do a lot of damage. Here's another way that we can do this. Amazon gives you very limited customer data, but they give you some. It's enough to be exported and put onto Facebook to then be retargeted. So we can put direct response advertisements in front of our buyers, in front of people that have voted for us. To me, Amazon is the greatest source of buyers in the world. Most direct response marketers are doing all of this build up to get the customer. Amazon is, you get the customer, now you have to back end getting the fan, getting the follower. And it's just as much work. And if you're willing to do it, you get a whole bunch of raving fans that have paid you up front. In the direct response world, we're okay breaking even on the front end so we can make money on the upsell. In the Amazon world, we collect the check now, and most people walk away. We're just in front of all of the buyers. But that gives us margin. It gives us profit to be able to invest into direct response advertising to be able to build up more customers, more buyers, more followers, and more fans. So we can develop this and be paid to work on all of the direct response pieces that are going to give us this audience, which is basically a pool of potential that we can crank at any time. So we get that data from Amazon. We can get enough customer data to be able to put it into Facebook retargeting and make them an irresistible offer, or to offer a 50% off coupon or gift card that they have to comment on, and then we can use ManyChat to follow up with them. So we could send them to a landing page through this retargeting process, or we could be sending them through ManyChat. We could be sending them back to our website, or we could use retargeting to ask for the review. My suggestion, especially as I pivot into the third part, is going to be doing something to capture either the ability to message them on Facebook or their email address. I'm going to suggest their email address in the first interaction. So use inserts in your packaging and Facebook retargeting to be able to get their email address. And if they've hit your website as a result of doing this, we can now pixel them. And we can pixel them as a visitor to our website and then turn them into somebody in our group or someone who is going to be inside one of our ManyChat lists. So the rule here is to get them to see us in 3 places. We've already shown up in their house. If we can get their email address and we can place the pixel, now they've gone from a buyer to a customer. We have now achieved level 1 of the function of business. We have acquired a customer. And now they're seeing us in 3 places, which probably means that they're a raving fan. This is where we can have fun. This is where we can constantly be retargeting, constantly be throwing a message out in front of our people. We can be sending emails for new products. This is where we can do product launches profitably. This is where we control enough media to be able to bully other people out of our way. This is where we can really cash checks, which is where I want to go next. Hey everybody, Ryan Daniel Moran here, founder of Capitalism.com, and I'll be your host at the Capitalism Conference this December in Austin, Texas. I'm inviting you to join Ezra Firestone, myself, Kimball Musk, Brian Lee of The Honest Company, and all the other serial millionaires and billionaires this December. Not only will you meet these tycoons of business, but you'll also break into workshops and have hands-on help growing your business, making more sales, hiring smarter, and even paying fewer taxes while you invest for passive income and long-term wealth. As a result of attending this conference, you'll walk away with the roadmap of what it looks like to grow a more profitable business, stay ahead of the curve, and also invest wisely so that your cash flow and your net worth increase over time and your tax burdens decrease over time. I look forward to seeing you this December in Austin, Texas at the Capitalism Conference. Let me give you the Mississippi Man Bun 2.0. By the way, I built all of my businesses based on this idea of going to where all of the people are, figuring out how to get a launch type of experience, and then leveraging that into what I'm going to do next. Would anyone like to do a case study with me right now? Okay, the one person who responded, would you like to do a case study with me? Let me try again. Would you like to do a live case study with me right now? Yeah. That's better. Okay, now I'm going to tell you, it will financially benefit me to do this live case study. Are you okay with this? Okay. All right. So we're going to do a live case study that financially benefits me on the power of leveraging a channel to get in front of a lot of people. How many of you here have iPhones? Okay. Reach in your pocket and pull out your iPhone right now. Open up your podcast app. Go ahead. You already agreed this would financially benefit me. You'll look silly if you don't do it now because Robert Cialdini talks about consistency. You already agreed. Open up your podcast app, search for Ryan Moran. Go with me here. Ezra, you can copy this tactic, by the way. Aww. No, so I appreciate it. No, what we're going to do here is we're going to watch a channel change live. Search for my name, click on Freedom Fastlane, my podcast. Raise your hand if you're looking at it. Okay, now I want you to hit subscribe. Hit subscribe. Go for it. I have no idea. So hit subscribe. Now, I know. Do you know why? Because too many of you tried to subscribe at once. Apple's freaking out. I don't know why this happens. So what I want you to do is keep trying to subscribe. Now, two things are about to happen. One, I'm about to make money. Number two, what we have just done is we have given Apple's algorithm exactly what it wants. Apple's algorithm in the podcasting store looks for number of subscriptions in a condensed amount of time. So, if you have a bunch of people subscribe to a podcast in a condensed amount of time, what then happens? It goes, something's happening. Let's rank this podcast. So, keep trying to subscribe. If you're curious to see this live in action, watch over the next few hours the business rankings of podcasts and look for Freedom Fastlane. What I have built, what I have based my businesses around, is being able to create a launch type of an experience through specific channels by leveraging whatever media is available. You all have the media of Facebook advertising, of using ManyChat, of using email to be able to create that experience. So I have used a very specific email series to create this launch environment. This has ranked me for Amazon keywords that other people thought were impossible to rank for. It has been used to create lots and lots of subscriptions to monthly programs. I've used it to sell hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of digital products. I have used it in launches as an affiliate. I have done it to put products on the map very quickly. It is a 4-part email series. And it goes like this. Part 1, we tell a story. And in this story, it can be related to your product or not related to your product. My copy mentor, his name is Travis, one of my best friends in the world. One of his best converting emails was talking about the fact that he was snowed in. He sold a relationship, a dating digital product. And his best converting email was talking about how he was snowed in. He had nothing better to do than to write an email today. And he was introducing the Hell Hath Frozen Over sale. His best converting ever. So you tell a story that's either related to your product or not related to your product. An easy win here would be telling a story of one of your customers. This would be very easy. Next, we introduce an offer that connects to the story that you just told. So we're talking about our customer, we're bragging about the results that this customer got, and now we're introducing the I want more Pat's sale. Pat used our product to lose weight. Pat used our product to achieve whatever effect the person that we're targeting desires. Introducing the I want more Pat sale. I've decided to recap offer because I was so encouraged by Pat's story. That's part 1, tell a story. Part 2, introduce the offer that connects to the story. Part 3, introduce scarcity. How many of these do you have available? How many of these bonuses? How many of these discounts? How many of these gift cards? By the way, I have done this with, if it's a bonus, it might be an additional product, something else in your store. It might be a digital product. It might be someone else's product. You could partner with someone who puts out a lot of content and package up some of their content and use that as a digital bonus and then go to them and run the exact same email sequence but change it for a physical product and do a reciprocal mailing with them. So we limit the bonus. We limit how many there are. Now, we don't want all of them to be used. So set whatever the number is higher than what you think you're going to sell. I promise you, it will surprise you how well this works. I can almost guarantee you that someone is going to go home, use this, and do $100,000 in sales. So the third part is limit the number of bonuses, giveaways that you have available. This is my secret sauce. Number 4 is create a different type of scarcity that compares how many are available to however many people are seeing the message. Now, it just might be that when you post this and you send this email, you're also going to post about it on Facebook, and your average reach on Facebook when you boost something is 100,000 people. So you could say, by the way, 100,000 people are seeing this message, and I only have 300 of these discounts available because I'm also posting this on Facebook, and we have so many followers on Facebook. So make sure you click this link and grab it now. Simple as that. Fairly simple email template here. But what we've done is we've utilized story to get the customer to picture themselves using it and the result that they're going to experience. We've created a reason for the sale, which is one of the most powerful things that you can do in marketing. We have created a reason for the sale. And what I have found is that as a result of it being positioned like an event, the I Want More Pats sale, the Hell Hath Frozen Over sale, it can be fun and quirky and doesn't burn our list. It actually infuses energy into the list because it's an event. It's an experience, especially if we have done anything right on the front end and we have acquired this customer and given them a positive experience up front by giving them that irresistible offer. They're following us on Facebook. They see us doing marketing in cool and ethical ways like we've talked about, and then they get an email that is an event and an experience, and now they're a part of something. It doesn't burn our list. It actually infuses energy. So that's the template of the first one. We introduce a story. We create an offer that is related to the story. We then introduce scarcity, and we make a comparison of how many are available compared to how many people are seeing it. That's email 1. Email 2, and by the way, that first, keep subscribing to the podcast, by the way. The second email is very simply a reminder. It takes me 60 to 90 minutes to write that first email. Email number 2 takes me about 10 minutes. It's a reminder. Hey, just wanted to let you know that we still have 110 I Want More Pat discounts available. We're doing this because I got a really awesome case study from Pat this week who used our product to lose 30 pounds in 90 days. I was so enthused by this that I wanted to get more Pats. So in honor of him or her, we're doing the I Want More Pat sale. Click this link to save 25% on your next order. P.S. In case you missed yesterday's announcement email, I've attached it below. That's email 2. Email number 3, we're going to introduce more scarcity. Nothing works like a time deadline. So now we're going to introduce a deadline. The deadline is, hey, I've been blown away by the I Want More Pat sale. This week we decided to do a 25% off discount because I got this really great message from Pat who used our product to lose 30 pounds in the first 90 days. We only have a few of these available, so we've decided to cut this off by tomorrow at midnight. Here's your link to save 25%. Click here to grab it. P.S. In case you missed the original announcement email, I've included it below. And then number 4 is very simply the last call. Last call for more Pats. Recap the offer, say that it's ending. By the way, if you want to use this in an email follow-up series, here are some magic words for you. This is the last time you will ever hear me mention the I Want More Pats sale. That is different than today is the last day that this discount will ever be available. So now we can evergreen it. So if this works really well, we can use this on the back end of a follow-up sequence, which might just plug in well if someone sees a retargeting ad after buying from us on Amazon, joining our community, and 5 days later going through a discount process. So if something kills it, we can now evergreen it on the back end of our email series. Does that make sense? So we don't necessarily close it, but we give the last call. The last call is the last time they're ever going to get this email. So what we find is that we create this incredibly powerful launch experience via email that doesn't burn our list, that makes it cool for them to get emails from us, that infuses customer value and energy, and it's partnered with good direct response marketing that keeps our products and our brand fresh in mind through retargeting, through ManyChat, through our Facebook groups that we're using. And this is how we can use Amazon to give us all kinds of buyers. We can stay in front of them and create a real business out of this. Or we can use direct response advertising to literally do cool, ethical, and fun things that make us show up higher in Amazon, and that also build an audience, which I believe to be the most powerful thing that you have, because it's the most deployable asset that you have to be able to cash a check whenever you want, which is when you get to enjoy the payday because you've built this audience and now you're selling something in an experience that creates a dramatic launch style result, which we can then duplicate over different products. We can duplicate it over different channels. And here's what I think is the future. When you release a new product that's really good, you put it on Amazon, you run this sequence with a little bit of Facebook retargeting, you use a similar model through your ManyChat broadcast list. They're seeing us in 3 places. We launch this new product on Amazon. We follow up with good review getting sequences. Amazon says, holy cow, this brand new product must be doing really well and people must be really loving it. Go put it into retail stores. And within a few months, we take a product that did not exist and it's in front of hundreds of thousands of people online. It's in retail stores across the country, and people are wondering, how in the world did you create this business so fast? That is the future by using direct response advertising alongside channels that are disrupting the old way of doing business. Brands are terrified of you. Businesses that have been around for years are terrified that you are going to do exactly that. They're terrified that you're going to be in front of their customers and actually give their customers a better experience. They're expecting you to beat them. Do not disappoint their expectations. I believe that it is entrepreneurs and you that can innovate faster and give people what they want faster, and that you get rewarded and that you deserve the fruits of what you create. I believe that by you making shit happen and creating something new, you do something really valuable for the world. You do more good than any politician, government, or any tax hike or cut could do for the country or for the world, because you are not protesting, you are actually creating the world that you want and that you can see. So I consider it an honor to be in front of you today. Thank you so much for having me. Go create the change you want to be in the world. Thank you. Thanks, buddy.
I love you too. Subscribe to Freedom Fastlane Podcast